Did you get the rhabdo?
It feels like it. Oh, damn.
What was the workout?
I did a workout from old regionals one. So it was a hundreds workout, 100 wall balls, 100 pull-ups, 100 step-ups, and 100 dumbbell snatches. I changed it a little bit, but that's our
Dude, your
version.
elbow looks so tiny because your arm is so swollen. That's
There it goes.
crazy. Damn. Is
It's
it
like
both arms?
Nah, this one's cool.
Oh, God, that makes my arm hurt looking at it.
Yeah, it woke me up pretty early this morning. Oh, shit.
Hey, in the old days, whenever there would be an article that came out about CrossFit, oh shit, holy shit!
Full house. What's up, dude?
Oh, hey, good morning.
Oh shit, I forgot my coffee. Son of a bitch.
Go get it.
I'll see if my wife will bring it to me.
It's a party this morning.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so in the old days, whenever there'd be an article about CrossFit, they would always, there's this, I don't know what it is, but there's this thing like when you go to school, like if you're going to write an article, you have to have both sides of the argument, even if there's not two sides to the argument. Do you know what I mean? Like clean drinking water is important, but they'd have a section in there where clean drinking water is not important. And like, why? And there'd be like 5 experts talking about it. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's just something I guess you learn in journalism school. So any article about CrossFit that was like a negative article, they would have to have haters in there, and it would always be the same haters. It would always be like Rob Wolf or Mark Ripito, or you know what I mean. They always went to the well for the same guys to say the same things, and then the guy at the local news station's like, "Here's my report," and he turns it in, and they air it. And there's a Rolling Stone article now out about CrossFit. And it's behind a paywall, but I have Apple News, and so I got it for free, I guess. Someone sent it to me today on Apple News, and I read it. Holy shit. It's so bad. It's for the subtitle, and it's the same guy calling people. It's the same guy who's claiming he's going to write things. It's the same guy who's claiming he's going to write the CrossFit book. Yeah, this guy, Caleb Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
This guy oozes weasel. It's so bad.
This is a crazy ad. Supporting Ukraine creates American jobs.
Oh, shit.
That's kind of wild.
How it happened. There's no mention of how it happened. Once again, there's no mention of there's no deep dive, and everything has a bias and a slant. And the people who are quoted in the article are all the world-class haters. And he makes some giant assertions like it's Halpin, Friend, Vellner. You know what I mean? It's just people who've made a living out of complaining, right? And then on top of that, there's some crazy assertions that these people stopped doing CrossFit this year and didn't do the games because of Lazarus drowning. I mean, it's so bad. It's just world-class trolling. I wish Greg would have never talked to this dude. I can't believe Greg's quoted in there.
Oh, is it bad? Did he fuck over Greg?
I mean, I mean, he just says, hey, I wish they would have released a report or something like that. But it's like, it just puts Greg in bad company. I text Greg this morning. I'm like, this guy's a world-class troll. I would never talk to this dude, this Caleb Marsh guy. Just even the words he uses. Do you remember him at the press conference at the game? The question he asked Dave. I mean, yeah. He is not a cool dude. And he's not really interested in the truth. There's a quote in there from a doctor who says the CrossFit Games. What?
Said, well, anybody can buy those. Yeah.
It says something along the lines of, this isn't exactly it, but it says something along the lines of CrossFit sees the athletes as dispensable or replaceable or disposable. It's a crazy line. It's like, dude, there isn't an event that, well, I mean, I don't know. Do you think the guy at the concession stand gives a fuck about what happens to NFL players? But everyone at NorCal cares about CrossFitters. You know what I mean? In every vendor, but like if you got a flat tire at a fucking NFL game, right? No one's stopping to fucking help you as they leave the parking lot. If you got a flat tire at a fucking CrossFit event at NorCal Classic, they would carry your car home for you 50 miles. You know what I mean? Like everyone would just pick.
Get truck pushed back to the house.
It's so and so this guy, all the comments in there in this article relative to the way the rest of humanity acts, there's no context, there's no relativity. I'm kind of embarrassed for this guy, Caleb. I wish he would just leave the space. It's just like, hey, all you do, he truly feeds negativity, and ironically, it's just Brian and Halpin and Velm. It's just the usual suspects. You know, Chandler Smith is mentioned in there. It's just the usual suspects who like the do-gooders, the people who are like, well, after Lazar died, I just said what I thought people wanted to hear. It's like, man.
Hey, what was the whole tone of the article? I didn't read it, but like, what did he land on anything at the end, or was it just okay?
No,
I hate this.
no. Hey, dude, wait, you should see him in person, dude.
Oh, don't worry. He limited comments on this post.
Did he?
Fucking shit on him.
Of course he did. He writes for the New York Times and Rolling Stone.
Also, you're wearing a hoodie in a restaurant like this?
Hey, dude,
That's
him
hip.
and his boyfriend are like fashionista type people.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he sucks. You need guys like this in the space. Great for content. I completely agree. Don't ruin it for me, Pat.
God, I hate him.
Yes, gay as fuck. Yes, 100%. 100%. I mean, look at his pants. I thought that was a joke, but that's not a joke.
Is that his girlfriend?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to see an article he writes about her.
If you don't,
About her
you
fucked
should.
up feet.
Clydesdale Media, not only limited sources, but isn't this 9 months late? Hey, and what's crazy is just look at the people who are willing to talk to him, and that says everything. And that says everything.
Isn't that the same group trying to build a whole entire new, whatever you want to call it, venue off of the death of Lazar?
And him personally?
No, but everybody he interviewed.
Oh,
It is a crazy thought.
They wanted what?
It seems to me like all those people that you had mentioned, all the haters, all the ones that are pushing this WFP, I just feel that they're just capitalizing on the opportunity. Like, rather than they're trying to shift it as if like there's some sort of do-getters, or like they're keeping Lazar's memory, or like they're somehow doing this in justification or like for justice for him. And really all they're doing is massively leveraging it for their own opportunity, whether it's eyeballs or whether it's this new WFP thing.
Yep. Not even wasting my time. Basically, NSCA false claims again. I agree. It is a waste of time to read it. It's just a rehashing of giving the haters a voice. I wouldn't be surprised if he was paid by an outside source to push that. I wouldn't be shocked.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, whoever. Yeah.
I'll say.
Chapman spoke to him. I told him about all the people doing great work in CrossFit like Athena, and he seemed very interested about the good people we had. No, he is not interested.
Hey, I got a question because I didn't pay attention that much. Has anybody besides us put out anything meaningful about Lazar and about that day and about the games?
You don't think a timeline, minute by minute timeline is meaningful?
No. Nothing that didn't have an undertone of I'm trying to like use this against CrossFit or leverage it so that way I could push my own agenda. I'm just talking about a straight up, like, I know the behind the scenes episode 2 has been public now for a while, and I just don't think that anybody else has created anything like that. Ours just simply told the story and then gave a tribute to Lazar and the contributions he made to the CrossFitters.
We're the only person who actually cares how he drowned, why it happened.
Yeah,
we're the only people who've admitted, yes. Brian Friend wrote a song. Good point.
He made it about him. I
forgot about that. I'm so disappointed you brought that up.
For the 50th time, yes. There should have been 1,000 fucking lifeguards out there. Yes, he should have been retrieved sooner than 40 minutes. Like, we all agree on that. But there's no one else asking. And I shouldn't say no one else. Like, I don't listen to everything. Scott Schweitzer puts out good stuff. Spin puts out great stuff. But I know it's uncomfortable to ask how. How is it that 90% or whatever it is of where when you go to Wiki and even Wiki provides how the Ironman athletes have drowned or how the triathlete athletes have drowned. It even says, or it says that they admit we don't know what we don't know. But no one just gets shot by a gun sitting in a safe somewhere. We end up finding out that someone's little sister opened the safe, got the gun, and accidentally shot the brother. Like we find out how the gun went off. Yeah. And no one cares to ask that. For some reason, it's insensitive to ask that about Lazarus' death. Lakes don't kill people. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. These are the mysteries we may never know the answers to.
But hey, at least they say he hung himself. They didn't say we found him on a rope. The rope attacked him at night.
That's right.
I did not listen to the song. I didn't listen either.
In all seriousness, was the song, when it was released, was it just Brian sitting there, or did they put a montage of Lazar over the lyrics?
So say that again. Say that again.
So, like, if I'm going to release something for somebody, is it just me about me? Or did they actually like play it, the song, and what you were watching was Lazar?
Yeah.
Oh, just Brian. Thank you, Clydesdale Media. So it wasn't about Lazar, it was about Brian. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Doesn't even try to hide the virtue signaling. Where is it? Is it on his? Someone said play it.
Probably still pinned to his Instagram on the top post.
Yeah, so again, all these people that care so much that all made these public stances, I just have yet to see them do anything selflessly for Lazar. So that's just strange. And apparently us, the haters, created 2 episodes that showcased it, that events that day very tastefully, very intimately. And then we created a really good montage of his contributions to the space.
Let me show you real journalism. This is our camera. We even tell you what frame rate we're shooting live. We're hiding nothing. We show you what?
It's not because we couldn't figure out how to get rid of it.
We show you what zoom lens we use. We show you what f-stop we use. We tell you how much storage we have left in the camera. Nothing hidden. This is how you do real reporting.
Get himself through in lane number 4.
Why is he still running? Oh, they're doing another heat.
No, he's not done yet. You got 3 rounds.
You have 3 rounds.
3-minute
rounds.
rounds.
He's the only guy that ended up in the 3rd round.
Maybe he's not wearing the frog grips. He's not wearing the frog grips. That's what it is.
Wow, that is objective reporting. The passion from that reporter. Just so you know, we have 37% battery left on the drone, and yet we're committed.
Yep.
Right. We're trying to stay in it.
We had safety guidelines. At 33% battery, the drone was supposed to come back. Fucking ridiculous.
They're guardrails.
They're fucking ridiculous.
That's amazing.
What ended up being the solution? How did we get it off eventually?
We realized we were going into the HDMI transmitter, so it wasn't recognizing it as a source. So then we were like, why were we even using the transmitters? We're going to go straight from caster to remote. And then when we got rid of the display settings, it gave us the actual live view.
Okay, that's right. Amazing.
And that comment came from, that suggestion came from an enlightened comment. It actually didn't. It didn't. All of the comments were fucking useless, and people acted as if we weren't troubleshooting everything we could possibly do.
Just a heads up, Rolling Stone has been cooked since the early 90s. Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Tank Reeves. The all-knowing, the wisest of us all.
Thank you.
Tank probably thinks the CIA created coups inside of Iran before, huh?
Tank, I was making a list last night inspired by you. I was thinking of like, because Anomaly and Tucker Carlson are comparing this to the weapons of mass destruction fiasco where we attacked Iraq, and I was thinking, but Saddam was denying that they had weapons of mass destruction, where the current regime in Iran is not denying it. As a matter of fact, they're claiming that they do have it, and they're using it as a negotiating tool. Right. And they've always claimed that they've had it, or been not had it, but attempting to get it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a pretty big distinction. I was trying my hardest to be like, and let's say you are right. I don't know if you said this, but a lot of people are saying this, that, hey, this is just about the oil and just about getting the energy.
That's what everybody says about the Middle East.
I can say that. I can agree with that too. Okay, what if it is just about getting the oil and the energy?
We tried that.
The whole world.
The 60s.
The whole world is trying to get oil and energy. So he's been saying it since the 90s. But Tank, even if okay, let me I'm gonna go with you on that. Let's say let's say all my information's wrong and the Iranians have been denying that they're trying to build a nuclear bomb and they haven't been negotiating on that, and they've been saying that. Let's say you're all right, completely right on that. What about the decree for the last 50 years to kill all Jews and Americans that we see in videos and stuff, them chanting that? Is that not true also? I don't see what about the fact that the Biden administration notified Trump, hey, the Iranian government has a hit out on you. You remember that during the election? They said that was public also. Was that made up also? Pat Lange, the current regime has said they don't have a weapon. I think everyone agrees they don't have a weapon. Not only everyone agrees on that.
The whole
and they haven't reopened their nuclear program since 2003.
She said that in March of like last year. That's just a recirculating post.
Actually, the part that you're leaving out that Tulsi also said is she said that they have the most enriched uranium for any non-nuclear any country that doesn't have a nuclear weapon, and that it seems very odd. She also said that in the same talk. I'm totally open to you being right. I'm totally open. I just don't see it. I don't understand how there's any doubt. Why you don't give the benefit of the doubt to the group of people who have clean water, electricity, choices for their children, roads, bridges, and who have not been chanting death to Iran for the last 50 years. It's even crazy what Tucker said about I don't have to hate brown people. There's no propaganda to hate Persians at all. I don't see any propaganda to hate Persians. All I see is propaganda to hate white people in this country. That's all I see.
That's true. What's Tank's argument again? I'm sorry, I forgot. Like, he thinks we should not be involved in the conflict, or that is
we be involved in the conflict. I don't want to be involved in the conflict.
Guess what?
I don't understand what they're.
We're not involved in it.
Oh, right. Unless you ask Ted Cruz.
That's right.
Hey, even if you could prove to me that the CIA bombed the Trade Center, those are all fucked up things, but they don't push back against the argument. The whole world wants, let's say it's all the way you say it is. Let's say the Jews are controlling the whole world. Check. Let's say this is a fight just for energy. Check. But now what? But now what? You want them to be in control? You want them to have everything? I don't get it. But I want to know. I want to know what you think that the outcome should be. You think Iran should just be completely left alone, and everyone should just be allowed to do what they want? Hey,
what's up, Savon?
Hey, good morning. Thank you for calling. Explain it to me, because I've been trying to listen to the Ryan Dawson stuff too, and I just his account has devolved into just straight Jew hatred.
I mean, I could have told you that. He's definitely on the extreme side of things for sure, but
he denied being a Jew hater, though. He denied being a Jew hater on my show, but it's really hard to believe that after I've been following him for so long now. I mean, I've been following him now for like 6 months every day.
Yeah, I mean, the best part of his interview with you, Savon, was probably the beginning when he explains, getting red pilled or black pilled too fast.
Yeah.
And what happens to people when that happens. And I think he's kind of, projecting a little bit on of himself there, saying.
And that resonates with me. I think that happened to me. That resonates with me. That's why I wanted to have him on. I was like, oh, I think that happened to me.
100%. No, I would say me too. COVID obviously was the springboard into this whole. Trust me, Savon, 5 years ago, I didn't look into any of this shit, man. I was just regular person going to work and stuff like that, and I kind of went down this rabbit hole, and I don't wish this on anybody, to be honest. It's not like easy to learn some of these things, and yeah, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to, and I'm not saying like, I know Caleb says, oh, I'm the all knowing. No, man, I just research shit. I just look stuff up, and I look stuff up on both sides, dude. It's crazy where it all leads. That's the only thing, you know. I don't think the U.S. should be involved. And when you say they're not involved, that's bullshit, because they're definitely involved with targeting.
And they're defending Israel. We've admitted to protecting it. But why? What do you think should be done?
But why, Savon?
What?
Why Israel? Why Israel? Why not anybody else? Why not Ukraine? Why is Trump backing off of Ukraine now? I'm not advocating.
Let's just we can come up with stuff. Let's say it's because we want to protect Israel because they have pictures of Trump peeing on little kids. Let's say it's that, and let's say it's also because we want their oil, right? We want Iran's oil, and let's say it's also because we share values, the same values that Israel has in terms of clean running water, not stoning women, and not throwing homosexuals from roofs. I think those are 3 valid reasons, right? Or not. I don't know if valid, but let's say those are the reasons.
But they haven't said that, and that's not the reason.
Oh, what is the reason?
Greater Israel.
Okay, so Israel's this tiny little country, and they want to double their size. I'll throw that in the pile too. So let's say they want Iran back. Let's say they want all of Iran. Okay.
Yeah, but Savon, they're talking about this. The whole reason why they want this this is from 2,000 years ago. That they're supposed to be given this holy land, that they've been told this is their holy land, and they're now 2,000 years later fighting for it.
Okay.
So that's okay? Because if we go back 2,000 years, then there's a lot of things that people could be fighting for.
If you're
like,
saying, if you're saying
that the Bible doesn't mean shit.
I agree, but there's a bigger picture and a bigger context here. Do you want these people who've been chanting for 50 years on the streets all around the world, death to America and death to Israel, to have control and power and not be kept in check? It is a Muslim decree that you have to convert, or you have to be killed, or you have to pay taxes. This is straight from Muhammad's mouth. And
Savon, this whole death to America thing, I don't think you're, and trust me, I wouldn't want to live in Iran. I wouldn't want to live the way they do. I mean, there's a lot of parts of Iran that actually are quite nice, but I completely agree with you. Like, you know, with these religious sects, these guys that are just absolutely. It's like going to a Christian church and watching people speak in tongues for the first time. It's like, whoa, what the hell is going on around here, man? That's completely foreign to me. It's not comfortable, but I'm not going to say anything about it. They can speak their tongues. To me, it looks completely weird, but that's not for me to get involved. That's their gig, man. If they want to gibberish, have at her.
Okay.
And I just
let me read you the countries that.
go ahead.
Let me read you the countries that have Sharia law: Iran, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Brunei, Egypt, Malaysia, Djibouti, Comoros, Nigeria, Jordan, Qatar, Bangladesh. I mean, it goes on and on. Oman, Sudan, Somalia, Syria, Turkey, Morocco. You can practice Sharia law in the United States, like with your family. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that with your family. If you find women and kids who will participate in that, you can do that. But it is not something we want.
Not all of it. It's illegal.
Yeah, not all of it. But we don't want that running our country. What we want in our country is we want the freedom to believe whatever you want, right? These people aren't coming here to practice being Muslims. They're coming here and they're going around the world to take over, and they want Sharia law in the United States. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that at all, but I also think there's religious extremism in every religion.
What I'm saying is it's not extremism. It's like saying that there's extremist Nazis and then there's non-extremist Nazis. It's not like that.
There's peaceful Muslims, Savon. There's peaceful Muslims. There's 100% peaceful Muslims.
Then they're not Muslims, dude. Then they're not Muslims. It's like saying you're a Christian, but you don't believe Jesus is the Lord and Savior. They're not Muslims.
But there's people that take the Bible and they twist the words and they turn it into an extreme ideology too.
Yes,
like
but there's not countries that support them with law and state. That's the biggest differentiator. I was just having this conversation. I completely agree with you in the sense of that there's all forms of extreme religions. The big differentiator for me is that there's not a list of countries that uphold those as actual laws in justice.
But Israel does the same thing. They're an apartheid state. They're the only country that actually hangs their hat on religion.
But
no, that's not
suppressive one.
That's not true. Israel's not the only. All those countries I just told you, they hang their hat on religion too. They want the country to be run by religious law.
But there's many other religions in that country that they can practice religions. Like there's Christians in Iran. Granted, they do get prosecuted. I get that. I get it.
All the Jews have been pushed out of all those Muslim countries. I'm sure you've seen that picture where in the last 50 years it's gone down to almost zero. There used to be shitloads of fucking Jews all over the Middle East. They've all been pushed out.
I don't know about that. But it's a tough one, you guys. It's not like I point the finger at Netanyahu. Okay, this guy's like indiscriminately bombing and hiding in a bunker the whole time.
I agree with that.
Look what happened in Lebanon. Look what happened in Libya. Look what happened in Syria. Look what happened in Yemen, Gaza. Obviously, I mean these are the 7 wars that they talked about in the 90s. That this is their last war in Iran. They've gotten their wars in every other country that they said they were going to. And they've taken a chunk of Syria here recently by using a Al-Qaeda al-Jawlani terrorist to take over Syria. Now, were they better off in the old administration? Probably not. But this guy's a terrorist. There's literally videos circulating online of him with 2 other guys beheading people, and he's in control of Syria.
The Israeli Netanyahu beheading people?
No. This al-Jawlani guy, the guy, the new, right? The guy that's supposed to be running the country in Syria. But as soon as that happened, what happened? The IDF moves into the Golan. They take a chunk of Syria because it's to protect Israel. And it's like, you can't just go in and start cutting off chunks of land, man. It doesn't work that way. That's a war crime.
Pat Lang, are you not a Christian if you're wearing clothing made of 2 types of materials? Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I'm fine if you want to say that all these Christians are fake Christians. I mean, I'm yet to meet a Christian who tries to emulate Jesus. All they want to do, memorizing scripture is not emulating Jesus. I'm fine with that too. We can pull their fucking Christian card.
Wait, what? You mean if I just don't recite stuff and do whatever I want, I have to act in accordance? This is crazy.
Hey,
religion, to me, Savon, you can believe in God. You don't need any of this other bullshit that surrounds with, like, religion to me is a business, right? I mean, they run it like a business. They're not getting taxed for one, but I mean, you look at like Scientology is a perfect example. Like their land ownership is billions of dollars. But do you ever hear anything about these guys? Not really, because if it's in the media, they make sure that it's out of the media in a hurry. Like Scientology is it's freaking insane. But they own a ton of land and have a ton of clout in government too.
Let me read this to you. This is from Wiki, and whatever the fuck. I'm totally okay if you say fuck them as a source. The Jewish exodus from the Muslim world occurred during the 20th century when approximately 900,000 Jews migrated, fled, or were expelled from Muslim-majority countries throughout Africa, Asia, primarily as a consequence of the establishment of the State of Israel. Large-scale migrations were also organized and sponsored and facilitated by Zionist organizations such as Mossad. An estimated 650,000 of the Jews resettled in Israel, 72% of them. So I guess the vast majority of them came to Israel because Israel was there.
Well, they've been also kicked out of 109 countries, but I mean, I won't go into that.
Let me ask you this: why haven't the Israelis dropped a nuke on any of their neighbors? And let me follow up with that. Do you think that if Iran got a nuke, are you okay with Iran having a nuke?
That's a tough one. I think if Iran wants to, like, basically they're trying to balkanize Iran right now. Same thing they wanted to do with Russia. Anybody who doesn't know that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. But they're trying to balkanize it. They want to split it up into a whole bunch of different pieces. You know, if they want to save themselves, I honestly think it's the only way that they can actually sustain being Iran.
Is what
to
no, get a,
I don't
is
think
what
anybody
to get
needs,
a nuke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you?
I don't think
do
it's
you
right.
want them? Do you want them to have a nuke?
I don't want anybody to have nukes.
Fair.
I think that it's
too bad. Too late. It's actually right up the street from me where they were invented.
Oh, wait, hold on. I lost you. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Tank. Sorry. Go ahead, Tank.
Yeah.
Go ahead about the nukes. You don't want anyone to have a nuke. Yeah, we don't either. But now that we have them, do you want them to have one? Or are you like, hey, well, it's only fair that they get one?
No, I don't want them to have one. I think they should have the right to defend themselves. But I don't think I don't agree with nukes at all, to be honest. So that's
and why don't
kind
you
of a
think,
non-starter.
Why don't you think Israel has nuked them?
Because if you nuke some, I mean, that would be. I think that's kind of like the absolute red line, man. You know, it's a point of no return. And not to mention, like, that Fordo's nuclear refinement plant that they have, that's like 500 feet plus underground. Like, they can drop bombs on that for days and they're not going to affect it. Dropping a nuke on that, on Iran, if Israel did that, I mean, I think that would really, I mean, have you been on Twitter at all lately?
Yeah.
It's a freaking cesspool, man. The division is insane.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they nuked them?
Yeah.
I just don't think it would go good for them.
No, I don't think so either. But,
sadly.
But do you think that Iran would nuke Israel if they got one? No,
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think that's a lot of rhetoric. I really do. I don't think that, dude, honestly, Iran have capabilities. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that missile yesterday, but they have some, like, pretty advanced, and maybe it came from the Russian, security deal they signed, and they've been receiving some of these munitions and stuff like that. But they have some stuff that, I think is pretty surprising to most of the people over there already.
The hypersonic missiles specifically? The hypersonic missiles specifically?
Yeah, the hypersonics for sure. That technology, I don't think there's any air defense that can knock that stuff down. The Ukrainians say they knock down all these Kinzhals all the time, and I call bullshit on that. I see the strikes. But I think we're days away from a false flag, man. I think something big's going to happen here. Like, with all the movements, the U.S. carrier groups and everything moving in there, man. It's like,
explain that to me. The false flag thing. Explain the false flag thing to me. Like, give me just an example of, like, what you think could happen.
USS Liberty, man, 2.0 coming in here, kind of thing.
And that they would do it when you say false flag, you mean claim that Israel or Iranians did something as just an excuse to attack them?
Essentially, I mean, they may have. You've seen already. I don't know if you've been on Telegram at all, but they've been catching a lot of these Mossad agents within Iran. Tons of different drone and this might be propaganda too, right? We don't know what the hell to believe anymore, but different containers full of drones, and they've been breaking into apartments where they're finding different intelligence and stuff like that with these agents. Like, for all we know, there's thousands and thousands of them in Iran. I mean, Iran's got 92 million people. Pretty easy to hide, a couple thousand people in there. With these things to do. I mean, I don't know. I think something big's coming, man. I really do.
Can I ask you?
We're weeks, if not days ahead.
I want to ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you think have you heard, is the World Economic Forum involved in the war at all? Do they have a stance on it?
Oh, probably.
Anything
you
heard?
know, Bilderberg, World Economic. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the article about Palantir. Basically, basically initiated this war through their security systems and stuff like that. I mean, have you seen some of the programs they're using, like Lavender and targeting Hamas in Gaza? It's
my sister was
I don't know,
asking
man.
me. I didn't look into Palantir, but my sister was like, "Hey, have you seen this Palantir shit? Is this shit real?" And I never looked into it.
Trump signed basically the dotted line with them. That, I mean, people aren't talking about it, and I think there's a lot of this war and this different situations going on right now is hiding a lot of the actual regional stuff, like your local at home domestic policies that are being thrown in there that really people aren't paying attention to because there's so much other noise. The Palantir deal is a big deal. Like, it's essentially a digital readout of every person in the States. And if you think like we do, you're probably on a list. You didn't get the shot, you're probably on the list. It's compiling this like naughty or nice list, essentially.
10 Democratic lawmakers are seeking more information about how the tech company Palantir is helping the Trump administration build what the lawmakers described as a government-wide searchable mega database that connects sensitive tax and other government data. In a letter to Palantir CEO Alex Karp, the lawmakers described the database as a surveillance nightmare that will make it significantly easier for Donald Trump's administration to spy and target his growing list of enemies and other Americans.
Yeah, and it's all under the guise of like this Patriot Act, security this, and it's like, dude, it's all bullshit. It's just and this is what I mean. Like, I don't want to know any of this, Savon. I just want to be able to get up in the morning, have a bowl of cereal, and go to work, and whatever. But like, knowing all this stuff, yeah,
get off Twitter.
Look at the world a little differently.
Just get off Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter, dude.
You just said, dude.
Telegram. I know.
Like, oh, are you looking at Twitter?
I know, I'm on Telegram,
dude. The Twitter's going crazy, bro.
Let me ask you this.
Twitter's crazy.
Let me ask you this, Tank. What about Iran's threat that, hey, if the U.S. gets involved, we're going to do something that's remembered for centuries and irreparable damage? Do you have any thoughts on what that might be?
I think
you think
that
they
will, if they'll do a test. That's what I think. If they do have one, they'll do like a nuke test,
like on their own oil fields.
I don't know, somewhere over there in the middle of nowhere. I'm not too sure. I mean, Russia's got basically like an entire island up north that they've done nuclear testing on, so it'll be something along those lines. I sure as hell hope they don't, to be honest, because I don't want World War III. I'm pretty content. I have 3 young girls, and if they do a nuclear test, fuck, dude, it's all bets are off. I think so. I mean, I'm almost to that point now. I think all bets are off, and I don't want I mean, you have young kids, Savon. In 5 or 7 years from now, like where will we be? Where will we be as a society?
Yeah.
And yeah, I know, Caleb. Trust me, man. I know. I'm poisoning myself with this shit. I get it, but it's also hard to forget it. It really is, man.
It's really not that hard.
It's not like
you just fucking shut it off and you just go about your day to day. That's it. That's all you got to do, man. It's not hard.
No, I understand that, but I have this knowledge now, so I look at things differently. It's not that easy, I get what you're saying. Turn it off. But the rest of the stuff, I can't just erase my memory. Like COVID was a big.
Like Tank, there's this.
I do shit. I do lots of shit.
Tank, there's this anomaly post where he's saying who's funding the terrorists. So let's say we find out the U.S. and USAID and have been funding the terrorists, and we find out Israel actually propped up Osama bin Laden and Hamas and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
those are facts, but yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we have to choose a side, do we want the side that has clean running water and electricity, or do we want the side that's?
I want.
Go ahead.
I want the side that's least evil. And
Right.
I'm sorry, man.
Right. I agree.
Just listening to Netanyahu, man. That guy is fucking evil. He's the epitome of evil, man. I'm sorry, you cannot change my mind. Just watch him.
I'm not trying.
He talks out the side of his mouth.
I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to convince you. And I think the Israelis think that too. Here's the thing. I think the Israelis don't like him. I think they hate him. But I think in their current situation, they're glad they have this monster. Like I have some friends who are truly monsters, and every once in a while I pull them out and utilize them.
Yeah.
But they are fucking monsters.
No, and I was just talking to a friend of mine last night. You know, like you have to give it to the American Israeli whatever coalition. Like they don't fuck around, man. Like I will say, out of like with this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, like this war of attrition they've been playing, like in reality, if Russia really wanted to, they could bomb that place to fucking smithereens and just move on. They haven't done that yet. You know, they're grinding away. They're just grinding away. Whereas like the Israelis and the Americans, it's like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this now, and we're going to hit them hard, and we're going to, you know, walk away. Like Syria was taken over in a week.
Hey, Tank.
You know what I was
It's
thinking?
insane.
Tank, I have no proof of this. This is off subject a little bit, but this I was actually thinking this. I was thinking that Russia just wants to clear out their old stockpile. I mean, I have no proof of that, but it was a thought that just popped in my head. Yeah, they're just clearing out their old stockpile of fucking bombs.
Have you guys seen that movie? I think it's like what is it, God of War, or about that Victor Bout guy?
War Dogs.
But it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I think it's, anyways, there's a scene in there where there's piles and piles of AK-47s. I don't know if you remember that, but they were real. Like there's
Lord of War.
like probably 1 million of them all piled up. Anyways, that's just a, that's
What would you like to see?
You might be right there.
What would you like to see happen?
Peace, man.
Peace, okay.
For actual diplomacy, for people to actually sit down and talk. Like, what's going on with the Russian negotiations between, like, Putin can't even have a conversation. Like Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron and you know, what the hell is the guy's name in Germany now? Like these Mertz, these guys are delirious. They're complete. You can't even have a conversation with these guys. They hate Russia so much they're like brainwashed to the point that like their Nord Stream 2 is blown up. They could have cheap gas coming in right now. Their people are getting fucked over, loaded with immigration, paying ridiculous prices for fuel and stuff like that, when they can just have some diplomacy, sit down and talk with these fucking people, and everybody would be fine. But no, it's always this like imperialistic this, and I'm not like advocating for Putin. He's the same. They're all the same. They're all the fucking same. All these leaders, they're on the take, and it's just difficult. You know, you want good people in these political positions, but they're all on the take. They all have blackmail against them. And I think I told you this before. It's either they're being blackmailed or they're being blackmailed and paid. And there's just no way around it. Like Tulsi Gabbard is a perfect example, you know, like she just, and it was in March of this year, by the way, Caleb, that she said that. Iran does not have any.
You do, that is out of context though. She also did say she also did say that they have an absurd amount of enriched uranium in that same talk.
Yeah, but they use it for civilian though. Like, I mean, it's like these, like I kind of like glaze over whenever I hear Trump talk about nuclear, because he thinks everything with the word nuclear in it is a bomb.
Right. Hey, have you heard them deny that they're trying to make a nuclear bomb? Because they negotiated with Obama on the premise that they were making a nuclear bomb.
I haven't heard that. I mean, I have heard them say they have the IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy, whatever, service, which is the international. And then Iran has their own. And they've said no, but that's bullshit. Obviously, we know that. Are they enriching to probably more than they should? Probably. But there's a lot of shit that people are doing behind everybody's back. I mean, you know, do we not think that the U.S. has military weapons that they don't know about, that the Russians have that we don't know about?
Right.
Like, you know, it's their own country. They're a sovereign country. They can do whatever the fuck they want, man. They want to fire shit up at the firmament all day long.
Right. But with that same argument, we can do whatever we want in terms of, if you're going to use that argument, we can do whatever we want. We can be like, hey, we don't want our neighbor to have this. You know what I mean? Like Tijuana doesn't clean their fucking wastewater, and they just dump it into the fucking ocean right next to San Diego, and all the beaches and all the water there is destroyed. You would think that we could say something to them too, like, hey, if you don't stop doing that, we're going to fucking take that land from you. Because basically you're polluting our fucking, our water. You're not being a good neighbor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think that in this current world, in this current situation, we need some diplomacy. We need to be able to sit down and talk, and it doesn't have to be an easy conversation, you know, like,
right.
I really don't understand why Putin and Trump haven't been in the same room. Sit down, have a conversation.
Well, let's give this to Trump. He said he spoke to Putin just the other day. And when Putin asked if he spoke to Biden, he said, no, I deal with the CIA. I don't speak to Biden. So at least we have that. I think that's progress. Hey, why won't Egypt open the border and let those people fucking out? We let in, why is only Australia, the UK, and I forget one other European country allowing Palestinians, refugees in? How come not one?
We're letting Palestinians in. We're letting Palestinians in here, man.
How come? Canada. Okay.
Anybody wants to come anywhere, come to Canada, dude, because it's fucking wide open.
Why aren't any of the Arab nations taking Palestinians? Why aren't they just flying in monster fucking jets and just letting anyone who wants to leave? Why aren't they saving those people?
Savon, you're not going to believe this, but the Israelis aren't letting them out.
So if Egypt opened that border, so you think Israel's told Egypt, do not open that fucking gate?
Egypt actually has a area in Rida that is open.
Oh.
But why? I mean, and this, I understand this. If you're being bombed, why don't you want to leave? But there's also this, like,
well, it's their prerogative. I won't judge them for it. It just seems like the story is that they're trapped in there and they can't get out. And if I want to believe that, then it's just like, holy fuck, why doesn't someone fucking open up a fucking gate and let them fucking out, especially their Arab neighbors?
Because well, first off, the Palestinian people, for the most part, don't want to leave their land. They're not all Hamas, as much as CNN and Fox News want us to believe. There's actually people there that just want to live and work, and you know, they actually want to sustain their homeland. You know, it's like if somebody came in and wanted to take over my house, I'd die for it. So, you know, why should they leave? But I also understand, you know, if you're being bombed with 2,000-pound bombs, but why aren't we pointing the finger at the people that are bombing them instead of the people that are being bombed and have nowhere to go?
Right. All right.
So
thank you.
Why'd you change your name?
What do you mean?
Didn't you go by Craig before?
Like, why do I have a handle?
Yeah, why is it Tank Reeves and not Craig White anymore?
I don't know. I don't know. I have a handle now. I don't know. My name's Craig White. You guys can all find me. I don't care. I live in freaking BC.
Hey, I was just asking.
Really, not a big deal. If you want to dox me out, dude, go for it.
I was just wondering. You changed your name, so I wasn't sure if you did you start something new or what's the deal?
No. Tank Reeves has been my name on Instagram for a long, long time. Everything's just all converted over. No, I'm not starting anything new.
Okay.
I did think about doing a podcast, but I'd be canceled so fast my head would spin. So
cool. Just wondering, man.
I really appreciate
nobody's out to get you, dog. That's the real world. I
really appreciate you calling, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Good chat, guys. Take care of yourself.
Bye. Clock or someone said something about my family. Just so you know, how my family ended up escaping was they were chased out of their homes, and then they got to I forget the body of water in Turkey, and there were French ships there, No, English ships, French ships. I can't remember. And they were lucky enough that they let them board, and then they took them to it was probably the Mediterranean. Took them to Lebanon. So it was quite fortuitous. They got very, very lucky. Hey, I want to show you something that I saw yesterday that is absolutely wild to me. This is an article. Let me start by saying I don't wish ill on. I was going to say anyone, but on most people, I don't wish ill. I can't think of anyone I wish ill upon. A man charged in deadly OTR stabbing. I don't know what OTR is. Maybe that's the city. A well-known gym owner has violent criminal history. The man charged with murder and a deadly stabbing of a well-known gym owner is being held on $2.25 million bond. This happened. This is an article from June 6th. 38-year-old Mordicia Black is charged with murder and aggravated burglary and the fatal stabbing of Patrick Herringer, a well-known gym owner in Cincinnati's Over the Rhine neighborhood. Okay, that's OTR, Over the Rhine neighborhood. Herringer was stabbed in the neck early Wednesday morning at a home on East Micken Street. He died from his injuries. The area was cordoned off with crime scene tape as investigators worked to understand the events leading up to the stabbing. Initially stating it was not an intruder situation, Black appeared before a judge Friday where his attorney entered a not guilty plea. During the hearing, prosecutors said Black had been released from prison in January after serving time for a violent attack on Fountain Square in July 2015. So he'd been out just a little while, and he'd been 10 years in jail, got out, and then attacked and killed someone else. The prosecutor stated in February, while on parole, Black had cut off his ankle monitor in February and had been on the run since. Prosecutors also claim Black is wanted in a separate burglary incident on Straight Street earlier this year. He's being held on $2.25 million bond. Herringer, who owned the gym Findlay Movement near Findlay Market and served in the Army, was a prominent figure in the fitness community. He was really a bright light, just a giant energy of a person, but he was always there if you needed to chat or talk. We talked back and forth on the phone all the time, texting back and forth. So this guy, this guy,
I know he got stabbed in the neck, but like, what? Why?
It sounds like this guy came to his house and was trying to rob him. I'm just jumping to conclusions. But let me take you back. Let me take you back to 262 weeks ago. A post this man made. My internet. Did my internet just go down?
It just glitched a little bit. You're back.
Okay. You can still see every pubic hair on my face. I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah, you got a little schmutz up there.
Still got little reeves on around your mouth, but other than that, you're good.
Now check this out. He's one of these people who fucking thought Floyd 19 was racist. And he de-affiliated. You can't fucking make this shit up. In an effort to ensure that we act with all the available information, which you had fucking none, we gave CrossFit the opportunity to distance itself from the comments of its CEO. The silence has been deafening. Sadly, it's clear that we no longer offer an environment of equality. You guys remember Greg said he wouldn't mourn George Floyd's death.
Yep.
The silence has been deafening. Sadly, it's clear that we no longer offer an environment of equality and inclusiveness under that banner. Fucking insane. Greg makes a post defending the fucking black community, basically saying, hey, the same people who weighed in on COVID and fucking shut this country down and fucking shut down 40% of all small black-owned businesses that never returned was accused of his statement as being racist. And this gym fucking owner de-affiliated because of it, saying that we don't offer an environment of equality. That's exactly what Greg was offering, is an environment of equality. Moving forward, we will not be renewing our affiliation with CrossFit. The name CrossFit 513 United has meant so much good over the years, and nothing that has happened in the last few days can do anything to tarnish or taint that. The irony. The irony. And so what you did is you jumped on a movement that defunded the police that only hurt black communities. You know, when they defunded the police, murders in black communities doubled. You know, after the George Floyd riot, police became afraid to engage black people, and the violence in their cities doubled, in their neighborhoods.
Well, more importantly, the local economies and all the business owners of those communities that were leading those communities out of that, the slums essentially all got burnt down too.
Now they're all being gentrified by white people.
Yeah, which
There
is
was-
the ironic part of it, right?
There was this. There was a former. I think he was an Oakland police chief who was a black guy, who was standing in front of a building who was in Oakland. That was named after a black civil rights leader. I wish I could remember all the details, but he was standing in front of the building trying to tell the protesters not to burn this building down, and they fucking killed him in the George Floyd riots. They killed a black guy trying to protect a government building that was named after a black civil rights leader. I mean, that was in Oakland. You can't fucking make this shit up. It's fucking nuts. It the full circleness of it all. It's crazy. Hey, and just because Israel and people say Israel funded Hamas, the U.S. funded Hamas, you can say that the U.S. was fucking funding Palestine through USAID and UNRWA, but that doesn't also mean that Iran was funding them. And if someone was giving and it was paying people off hundreds of millions of dollars to attack me, but I had billions of dollars, I might try to pay them off too. Like, there could be a story to that. It could be just that the U.S. was trying to offer more money to those people.
Hey, one of the things that was said in that conversation that I completely agreed with Tank is he said, I don't know what this is a distraction from. I'm going to tell you right here. I'm going to unfuck the whole entire situation and give you something that maybe you should think a little bit more about rather than the conflict of the Middle East. I do believe that that's a distraction. I think we're at a changing world order right now. And I think that we're in a battle with China. And I think the major thing, the biggest superpower that's going to come is AI. It's like a nuclear arms race, but much, much, much more. And who holds the keys to that is Taiwan. Nobody's talking about that conflict. If China gets a hold of Taiwan, they win the AI race. We are figgity booked. That is the main thing that we should all be focused on.
Biggity giggity. Zuck owns the keys to AI. God, my fucking interview was a disaster yesterday. I went on Zuckerberg's sister's serious show. The disaster. I'm embarrassed.
The public may not be talking about Taiwan, but
is the public talking about my interview yesterday on Sirius XM? No.
Probably not. I don't subscribe to Sirius anymore.
Biggest interview.
But
Caller, hi.
We're definitely talking about it.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Sit back and watch everything that's transpiring. The only solace I find is it's kind of all playing out as it we're told. So Isaiah 5:20 in summary says,
Oh wait, hold on. I'll bring you back. I cannot tolerate that fucking pop. Sorry, you deserve better. You're gonna quote scripture, and you deserve better. Isaiah 5:20. Yes, yes, my disciple, speak to me.
So I don't know how much of my original got in there, but I can only find solace in what the Bible says and what was foretold a long time ago.
Isaiah 5:20. Yes. Tell me.
Isaiah 5:20. What's evil will be considered good, and what's good will be considered evil. So I look at what's going on, and I can't rationally bring myself to understand how people are coming to these conclusions or living their life by these crazy ideologies when we can't figure out that there's only two genders. It's insane to me when a person of color is trying to defend a building for a civil rights leader in Oakland, and he gets killed by a group of people that look just like him for some cause that originally that building stands for. It makes no sense. When people are trying to treat today, Juneteenth, like it's a segregated, Independence Day for someone else, there were tons of people that fought so that there wouldn't be segregated days for everybody. And everybody's Independence Day was July 4th because we're all Americans. It's insane to me.
But don't ever forget that black kids in New York don't even know the word computer. Governor Hochul.
Or know where the DMV is.
Yeah. Hochul 5130. Hochul.
It's, you look at all the policies, you even look at, Margaret Sanger and what she did with Planned Parenthood. It's like the Liberal Party hates colored people, and it's completely sad. They have them indoctrinated and brainwashed. I want them all to get out and escape from that control and mechanism and understand the value that they actually have, and not what's been forced down their throat. It's terrible. And the white people that enable it, it's sickening.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, on that happy note, guys, you guys have been crushing it with the live streams. Love you all three. Have a great day.
Well, by the way, if you would like a dissenting opinion, please head over to johnwoolley.com. Go over, look at his Instagram.
That guy sucks, dude.
Yeah, I gotta show you what he fucking.
That's great commentary. Great commentary.
He's so angry. He's so fucking angry. I hope it's still up. I gotta show you what he wrote. It's fucking crazy. Okay. So someone wrote this to him. Someone wrote this to John Woolley. Someone wrote, hey, I didn't watch the Big W because the lighting on the TV. I'm sure it was cool in person. Their chicken was bland. And he goes, I didn't watch the last 2 CrossFit qualifying events because the production value was low. Like the person didn't even ask. The person didn't even ask.
Damn, clinging to desperation as
how was your day today? I hate your mom. Okay, how was your day?
Yeah,
today?
that's
I hate your mom.
That's when you know it's bad. It's like no one cares about what your opinion is, and you're having to insert it every step of the way. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's wild. I consumed a shitload of someone's podcast recently, and every 10 minutes they insert something about them being a woman anywhere that they can fucking fit it in. It's crazy. I worked with a woman who was like that one time. Everything is a gender issue. Everything is a sex issue. I did pretty good for a woman. I beat the men. We need more women and blah, blah, blah. It was fucking wild. I was just imagining, I was like, I wonder what it's like to live like that. To put everything through this filter of man versus woman. That must be fucking exhausting.
It would drive you, it would drive you crazy. And that's why those people are so angry. That's why it's like people that are so dogmatic and, their liberal ideologies, there's no path to happiness there. It's only going to lead you to being angry, being upset, being a victim. Think of how crazy of a way that would be to live. It would be no way to live. Of course you'd be pissed off. Of course you'd be running around burning shit.
The woke ideology is amazing when it comes to the psyop of women. Like that has been the most successful claim to that ideology, is convincing women that they are more valuable as taxpayers and a clog in the economic wheel than they are as caretakers and nourishers of life. It's insane to me. Imagine thinking that there is some sort of devaluing a woman that raises children at home. To me, especially as I've been getting older and like thinking more and more about it, that is the absolute most important role that you could own in humanity, a giver of life. And to think that that's devalued because you want to be some fucking CEO or hold some power position job is a crazy psyop of some woke ideology that's fueled by corporatism. It's nuts.
It is nuts.
Amen. And if we can take the moms and the dads out of the home, then we can control the kids. And if we can control the kids, we have a greater voting base. It's
just
like,
send
let's
them to
break
school.
up the nuclear
That's all you
family.
got to do.
Yeah, send them to school.
Yep. We need both
All
parents
good.
working. Mom needs a power job. She could do anything a man can. A man could do his job. He's got to too. And at the same time, don't worry about where your kid's going to go. We got you. And the amount of parents I hear all the time too. And obviously I don't have kids, so whatever, take this with a grain of salt. But it's like this countdown until they could go behind the fence, as Sevon says. Like it's like this count. Well, they're in pre-K, so they're only gone till 8 till noon. And then I got them back. But 2 years, they're going to start kindergarten. Then they'll be gone to 8 till 2. Then I'm really going to get a break. And then when they go to high school, you know, it's like this. It's
Why did
really
you even
strange.
have kids if that's your deal? Why did you even have kids?
Well, we have to call it as hard. It's got to be hard. It's got to be like, it's this daunting job. It's got to be this burden, because if not, you would treat it the opposite and you would cherish it. And then all of a sudden we might have a lot of kids. And if you get a lot of kids, you might need a family. Then if you get a lot of family, you might have a family unit. And if you do that, they might think as a family rather than just a bunch of individuals.
Hey, this woman that I was listening to, her mom is a physician. So it's not like she didn't have a strong woman role model who can do anything. My first day of work, our secretary congratulated me for being a woman in engineering and said she looked up to me. I was so confused.
You think of how demeaning that is.
I know. That's
when you really just take it's crazy.
You have to empower women because they're powerless. You have to empower
Right.
them because they're powerless.
Yep.
Yeah, I have 3 kids, and before my wife and I started having kids, we talked about it. She was successful in her own career before children, going to be a CPA up in the Bay Area, and we made a determination. Right, I was going to work so that she had optionality about what she wanted to do, but we both agreed the most important job that we could ever do is raising and being present for our children, and she could not be happier. Loves that role. And it's not a job for her, right? Like you said, you do have joy in that. You get to spend time and know your kids. Our kids are super happy, just super engaged in their lives. And it's such a beautiful thing. And when you have a family you can rely on, you don't have to rely on the government.
That's right.
And I think that's the big tipping point.
Independence from the state is the biggest fear of the power.
And people accept the support from the state like it's reality, like it's like water is wet and air is oxygen, and they believe it like it's concrete, like that there's no other way. Even like, and I was like that. Like there's no other way than sending your kids to school. There's no other way than sending them to college. There's no other way than putting a pacifier in your kid's mouth. You see these things and you think that's the way it is. And you don't think about it. You think it's reality, and it's not. Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Check this out. Did you want to say something, Souza?
No, I mean, I was just going to say the thing because like Heidi would have commented about like spoken perfectly like somebody without kids. And I agree with her. Like take what I say with a grain of salt, and everybody's situation is different. Like I'm a product of public school. I know Sevon is, probably Caleb even is too. And the difference is like the times that you do spend and the values that you do instill into your kids. So just to reframe that, it's not necessarily like if you don't homeschool, you suck. Like a lot of people don't have that position. Majority of the people don't have that position. But the values that you instill in your child when you do have them in your care and you're watching them and what have you matters a hell of a lot more. And Heidi in particular does a great job of that.
My kid's tennis coach a couple times has explained to me that my kids are privileged.
Yeah, because they have 2 loving, supporting parents that do whatever the hell they can to make sure that they have every opportunity in life. And I was privileged too because I have 2 parents that did the same for me.
Crazy.
I homeschool and I still suck. Okay, here we go. Governor Hochul, the governor of New York. Here we go.
That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
You know, there's tons of crimes in this country that will get your kids taken away from you. Lots and lots of crimes. Driving drunk. When they pull you over and they take you, they'll take your kids out of the car and separate you. It's just complete fucking horseshit. Those people have fucking broken the law, and now taxpayers are going to pay to try to. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what they're going to do with the money. But let me remind you of who this is. This is Governor Hochul. This is what she thinks of black people. Here she is.
Best, we will be the first, and I want others to follow.
because right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is.
They don't know what the word.
Oh
Hey,
my
if
God.
Trump said that, holy shit! Could you imagine the shitstorm?
Oh my
don't
God.
know. They don't know these things. And I want the
They don't know these things. There's other things they don't know either.
Oh yeah. Okay.
world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through
Hey, when you have the people who don't know the word computers voices, you get a better society.
technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. I've created this governance board, this advisory committee. Our CEO is Arvind Krishna, who is the CEO of IBM, very well established.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my! I've
Wow.
created a shell company to launder money into guys as if I'm doing good. Please donate,
Wow.
dude. The word salad there is insane.
Hey,
It's
my
like-
kids don't. One of the things. It's kind of amazing too, because one of the things. You have to. We get this money from the state. When you homeschool, you can apply to get money from the state. Like
you
$3,000.
just get your money back. You don't get money
something.
from the state.
Well, you don't get
back.
yeah, you don't get a lot, but and so they ask you questions about stuff you're doing with your kids, and one of the things in there is does your kid know how, like at 6, does your kid know how to log on to a computer?
Let's hope not.
I know, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck?
They're gonna fall behind, Sevon. Your boys don't have the internet yet and full access, untethered to parental discretion. You're a bad parent.
Wow.
It's insane. What's up, dude? Hello. Good morning. Speak your
Good morning, dude.
Good morning.
Hey, you think she said that and was immediately like, uh-oh,
Yes.
I just said something I can't walk back
I
right
hope
now.
so. I hope so. I mean, that would,
Yeah.
I mean, I would give her credit for that. I mean, I've said things that come out of my mouth where I'm like, oh, fuck. But that one's pretty gnarly.
That's one of the most, over the last handful of years of all the crazy things the left has said, that's one of the craziest ones I've ever. Black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. Kids are born knowing what a computer is, no matter what color they are. Like,
How the fuck do you
That's
think how do you
amazing.
think they're making music, you dumb bitch?
right, they're some of the most.
How do you think we
creative,
get SoundCloud
innovative
rappers,
kids.
dude?
Yeah. How dare I say all black kids are rappers? I know. I fucked up.
you're just as
94% of
bad
all
as her,
black kids
man.
are rappers. Of course they know how to use computers and MIDI machines.
Duh.
Yeah.
Clip it. Someone clip it. Hey, let's clear the air about me and Joe. Mr. Joe Ellis.
Oh, y'all
I
official
don't
now?
hate Joe.
You guys are putting labels, or what's happening?
My favorite. That's my favorite training, by the way.
This is
We're on vacation together right
from single to interrelationship
That's
on
good.
Facebook.
Hey, that's the black guy saying,
Yeah.
I have a transgender friend. Joe's
I'm
like,
trying
"I have a
to save
black friend."
America, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't hate Joe. I have no problem with Joe as a person. So Joe, if you're listening, I don't hate you. Here's the thing, and this might get a little not PC, but I don't care. I have a problem with anybody, and it doesn't have to do with sex. It could be anything. Anybody pretending to be something that they're not, and then other people playing into that light, that illusion, that whatever you want to call it. So when I see like the normalization of all this stuff, that's what I have a problem with. I'm like, you do what you got to do, be who you got to be, live how you want to live. But you're not a woman, and I'm just not down with that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? Like, I don't not like you. I just don't like to normalize the stuff you're doing.
For me, to put that in context in relation to what you're saying, I don't want to support people chasing happiness externally. So getting fake boobs, filler,
Yes.
Botox, smoking marijuana, you know what I mean? Jacking off to porn. And I know no one's perfect, but I don't want to necessarily like support it or condone it. But do I have Joe seems like one of the most sober, fucking, well thought out, strong minds of a human being that I've interacted with in the little bit of interaction I've had with Joe. And there's tons of qualities I do love about Joe. Overachiever, pursuing their goals, extremely sober in presentation, thoughtful, warm. So I mean, yeah, but I hear you, and it does seem switching from a man to a woman seems extreme, like those weirdos who get like those chicks who get like those giant tits. You know what I mean? So I like in that regard, I am curious. Like, hey, is Joe avoiding going the wrong way to find like wholeness? But fuck, what do I know? Like.
And Joe should do this and shouldn't do that. I'm only saying like exactly what you just said. Like I have this, I don't even know how to say it without sounding like sort of liberal. I care about everybody, you know, and when I see people kind of going down a road of not being themselves or porn addiction, like you were saying, or drugs or whatever, it's like, homie, you don't have to do that, you know, like we can work on whatever it is that's leading you to want to do those things, but we don't have to act on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I don't want to say have a problem, but that's where I stand with Joe or anybody like that. It's like, yo, you don't have to do that. Like you can be loved. People love you for who you are, and you can learn to love yourself, as lame as that might sound. But yeah, there's no like hate, you know, like he was saying yesterday about, you know, whatever. I'm like, I don't hate you. I don't have a problem with you. I just have a problem with what you're doing and passing it off like it's normal, you know?
Yeah.
Because it ain't.
Fair. When's the last time you had your hand on? When's the last time you had your hands on a set of fake titties?
I'm gonna think of it. I don't know if hold on, no. Yeah, I've touched some fake ones. It's been a minute though. I like them, you know. It's not like I don't like them, but I prefer all natural, you know. Like,
yeah.
Give me the real ones.
I prefer all natural too until there's any tits in front of me. Then it's just like.
Right. Then it's like game on. We're going to town.
They're all good.
Beggars can't be choosers, man.
That's right, Caleb. Preach it. 1:30 today.
Do girls like having their boobs fondled and like your face in them and sucking on them, or are they the whole time you're
only if you're cute? Otherwise, you're a creep. Don't talk about it.
I would not.
Just said that like he has got some experience there.
The thought of someone sucking on my nipples just fucking. It's the last thing I'd want.
You never had a woman do that?
Yeah, I don't. It's like, hey, I don't like it. Like, go away.
You didn't like, not for like a second. You're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, never mind. I don't like this.
I don't know. It just does nothing for me.
No.
Just, yeah. Like you could might as well like just suck on my shoulder or something. It's just like.
That sounds hot. That sounds hot. Hey, 1:30 today, Central Standard Time. Gluten Things. Augustus Link and I are going head to head in the workout. If you guys are bored at that time.
At what time?
1:30 Central Time. So what? 11:30 your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to pound your hole? He's pretty fit. Is he going to pound your hole?
He is absolutely going to destroy me. I got a cold. Here come all the excuses. I got a cold all of a sudden. I'm sick. I didn't sleep last night. I'm kidding. No. He's fit. He's the one guy that I said in the beginning, if he was to call in or challenge me, that would be the end of my reign. So today might be the last time I'm on that show. It's all good. It's been a good run.
All right.
All right, fellas. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
See you at 11:30.
I've been rough on the black woman on this show as a demographic as a whole. But here's a redeeming moment caught out in the wild. Thank you. I want to be fair and balanced.
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker.
Damn.
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker.
They got their kid in the car.
Oh shit! Just a little good old fashioned daytime racism. You know what I mean?
I want to know what led up to that. Like, did he cut her off or something? Like, why all of a sudden he started filming and then she's
Fucking
gonna
stealing the jobs, bro. You heard Trump.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you're right. You're right. My bad.
That's
It's all.
amazing.
It's been leading up for days. She's just been waiting to see a Mexican to start screaming at.
Yeah.
Yep. She's been driving
All
by
right.
the Home Depot every time too, and haven't caught a live one yet.
Man.
So good. oh, damn. Never mind.
But just to go back to where it's gonna have to be black men to save the country. Listen to this. This is fucking batshit crazy. Listen to Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black. Not for everybody.
Not if you're black. Guys.
She said that it's the same or worse for black people living in the USA in 2025 as it is living in Iran.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Imagine the dude, one of the ugliest human beings. Listen, Whoopi, I don't mean this to be offensive at all. You're one of the ugliest, most hideous human beings in the world with the worst job ever. How are you any metric for happiness? I love that guy.
He just leaves.
Up on them right now. We at this bitch with a school bus.
This is the country.
now.
This is the country with the most black millionaires. If you look at the Forbes list, 30 under 30, how many black people was on there? How many black people was on the top content creators list? 10 M's plus.
Every commercial I see on TV is black people these days. I can't watch. There's no white people on TV anymore. Every movie on Netflix and Amazon, the fucking thumbnail, some black dude.
The hell? What the hell?
Did I hear that?
She up $60 million talking about her life hard because she black.
Did I just hear
What
that
the
right?
fuck?
Imagine rich black people offering that up, or rich white people, anyone demanding that fucking that be your point of view.
Them niggas getting blown up.
There's no way I heard that right, bro.
Bro, I'm sick of the whole black people are oppressed shit.
I just cannot believe that shit. Not
This shit
if
is
you're
fucking
black.
bullshit. Bitch talking about black people getting
Wow.
hung. What the fuck?
Whoopi, you probably have security. You're Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Cushion.
She got a Jew last name, which is even funnier, right? Whoopi
You
Goldberg.
probably has security.
Is
Yeah,
Whoopi
that's
a
the
Jew?
best part.
Is Whoopi a Jew? Goldberg?
I don't know, but Google says she's a comedian.
Yeah, with that last bit, that was hilarious.
God, you know she got skin tags like from her knees all the way up to her pussy.
Why would you say that?
Big old skin tags.
Oh, that's so gross, dude.
What a miserable existence.
I hate you for that.
Oh, it happened. It happened.
Yikes.
I think I played the Gavin Newsom Latinx thing before, right? I think I played that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Do you see the Arnold Schwarzenegger on The View?
Yeah.
He almost made up for that "screw your freedoms" comment a couple years back.
Yeah, he was great. They tried to pin him down saying that it's hard on immigrants, and he's like, hey, it's the fucking greatest country in the world. It accepted me and made me awesome.
And if you're a foreigner, you need to treat it as you're a guest here and contribute.
Yep.
It was great. She queued it up too. Did you have a visceral reaction to those ICE deportations? It's like, no.
Susan's about to start singing into that mic.
I do want to hold it like this though.
Okay, Eminem.
Hey, does Schweitzer go live every day at lunchtime?
Seen him a few times.
Is it every day? Does he just have a lunchtime show now?
Seems like it.
The space is really filling up nicely.
Think so?
Yeah, I think it's cool. There's a whole YouTube's finally being taken advantage of the way it should be. You don't think so? I think that that's the opportunity. That's what's going on. There's all these people out there doing all this shit. And if people want to listen at lunch, I just think it's like that's what we need. We need consistency. We need people going live at the same time. We need the different voices and different angles is all fucking cool. I like it. Just the other day, I don't know what took me so long to put it together, but like I said, like for the 20th time yesterday, I got a notification from YouTube, Schweitzer live at lunch or something. And I'm like, holy shit, is this motherfucker going live every day? Yes, he does, Sevon. Is that every workday? Okay, so 5 days a week. Yeah, that's cool. Too much? No, I don't think.
No, nope,
I don't
not
think
too
so.
much. Not at this stage, because with CrossFit just being this floating corpse, because Don Fall needs to be immediately fired right now because he hasn't done anything in 2 years. More is better, in my opinion.
Well, I guess when I was a kid, there would be 2 shows on TV at the same time, and I couldn't watch both of them before VCRs. You know what I mean? Like Dukes of Hazzard would be on one station and the Incredible Hulk on the other, and I'd be like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try to flip back and forth between the 2?" But we're not there yet. We're not even close to that. But it's cool if there's a live show always that you can just chime in and or listen to. You know, listen to what's going on in the CrossFit space, get people's takes on it. I think that's cool. Does Dallin's show go live? Do those dudes go live?
Of course not, dude.
What? They're pre-recorded?
They got Justin on there, dude. It's got to be vetted by lab management before they hit the publish button. They don't do shit live, because then they might actually have to talk with an audience and give an opinion.
Hey, I could see that.
Oh, this one. The one they did with Jack says it was streamed 2 days ago. So this one might have been live.
Click the live button on their channel. Oh wait, what's happening? Why does the YouTube channel look like that? Oh yeah, live.
Yeah, 2 days ago, 9 days ago.
9 days, 3 weeks.
Okay, so they do some live.
All right, dipping the toe in the water.
Probably, yeah. Their most recent ones are live. The rest are all pre-recorded.
Holy shit, the one with Dave got 14,000.
Pretty good. And Justin wasn't even there, so
well, he
read into that as you will.
He can't be there.
Scheduling conflict, I'm sure.
Taylor Self, if you're Trump, the dumbest thing you can say to the world stage is, no matter what, we're not getting involved in Iran. Yeah, of course. Of course.
What do you think Iran's capable of doing, Taylor?
Dude, I really think everybody should just look into the Taiwan AI situation, please. Once you do that, you realize that none of the other shit is important at all.
How close is
all?
So what do you think the distraction? You think that
I think this shit's a distraction. I think the bomb's going back and forth between Israel. I think we're at war.
For who? But for who? Like, you think China's?
All of us. Look at what we're talking about. Nobody's talking about AI. Nobody's talking about the declining power in the U.S. Nobody's talking about the rising power in China. Nobody's talking about the geopolitical position that Taiwan holds and the significance of the superconductors that they're building over there. This is a massive arms race to AI. Like, I'm telling you, the warfare landscape, is going to change dramatically. You've already seen it in the Russian-Ukraine. And if you don't think that this is a massive race between China and the US right now to get a stranglehold over those new technologies, you're tripping. You're missing the big picture.
Here's an hour ago from Reuters. Taiwan on alert over China's military activities in the Pacific. Taiwan President La Ching-te on Thursday ordered defense and security units to step up their monitoring and intelligence efforts in response to China's military activities, which he said have not abated even as tensions rise in the Middle East. Maybe that's why China and Russia are not chiming in on Iran, hardly at all. They're staying silent.
Check this out. Sean Ryan just did a show with the vice president of Taiwan.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to that.
Hey, but what if they do get Taiwan? So they get all those semiconductor factories?
That's the hardware, and those are the chips, and those are the computing power. And it's funny that people are in the comments fighting back against me. This is the Orwellian thing. They're just switched the fucking Iran to Iraq to Afghanistan. And here we are.
So you think Trump's just a pawn as part of the distraction, or he's? You think he's being used as?
It's multifaceted. So why would they want? If you actually knew what was at stake and that our dollar is just fucking plummeting, dude. I mean, how many times you go to the grocery store, you buy 5 items. What's it cost you?
Yeah.
$60. Our country is $36 trillion in debt, and that motherfucker is climbing fast. You can't even contextualize the amount of debt that is in. The bank loans are failing. The banks are only as good as their loans are. So if these dollars start to go and this middle class is continuously getting squeezed right now, that's a massive.
I believe you, but who?
Problem.
Tell me the main characters in the distraction. Are you saying that it's a planned distraction, or that China's excited because there is a distraction and they're going to take advantage of it? Like yes to both of those.
Yeah. So you have conflicts that's happening, and if this is and you triage, right? So you got 3 different things that are happening right now. What would you do? You triage. Which is the most important to the American people? Our financial crisis, first and foremost, right? 12 people fucking own everything in this country. We got to figure that out. Second thing is going to be the AI race with China. That's the like up and coming superpower of the world. Okay. Then third, we have the ongoing Middle East conflict that has been going on for how long? It's the same fucking players. It's the same stories, weapons of mass destruction. Here we go again. And all as we did was change who the bad guy was. And all of the focus is going to that. And I'm not saying that it's not important or that it's planned. I'm saying that when you have a multifaceted situation going on, us as Americans need to triage as what's most important for us to be focusing our time and energy on.
Okay, so we know that there's, if you believe what Trump is saying, there's billions of dollars being pumped into the United States, hundreds of billions, in order to help our AI infrastructure, expedite energy that's needed to run these AI machines, and then semiconductor chips coming to the United States and all of that. So it looks like it's being faced. But also, do you think that there's a huge importance of also being the strongest military might in the world?
I mean, that's the most important thing. And
even more so than AI?
That is, AI and the military superpower are synonymous. You're talking about the same exact thing.
Okay, so you're saying
what's more important, getting nuclear arms or being the military superpower?
So you're saying that AI, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me where they converge, because what your neighbor's like, basically, I'm going to really simplify it. Your neighbor's like, I can beat you up and take your house, and you're like, fuck you, I have AI in my house.
And you're like, I could predict you doing that 10 weeks out before you do, just based off of your search history. And then I could come up with 10 different strategies in a click of a button to figure out how to eliminate you without ever stepping foot in the house, just conducting the people around you. And that's like a simple version of it.
So do you think AI is more important than military might?
I think it's the same thing, dude.
Because it can be used. So you're saying it's just it's a tool in the arsenal of fighting.
It's going to be the tool.
Yeah.
Look at the battlefield, and Caleb could attest to this. Look at the battlefield in Ukraine and Russia right now. Look at how much that has changed warfare in this short amount of time. What do you think happens when more autonomous flying drones go? What happens when it's smarter? What happens when the predictive value becomes so precise that it could tell you and predict things that it almost looks like it's scary? It could see into the future.
Right.
Like
then
what
your only secret weapon would be then Donald Trump.
What happens if it could predict the downfall of the financial crisis? What happens if it could start giving you algorithms and different things that you could just go ahead and figure out and be able to have predictive value on what's going to happen in the markets and everything? I mean, there's so much that you could leverage. I was hearing this thing that it was like the average IQ is like 70 points or something like that, right? And then if you take somebody like Albert Einstein, he was only like a couple of percentages, if you break it into percentages, higher than the average IQ. But he was able to come up with theories and different things that we're still unraveling today. What happens when you have a piece of technology that gives you 10,000 times the IQ of what you have right now? You tell me what you could do with that power. So again, when you ask what's more important, military arms or AI, that's like saying what's more important, the race to nuclear technology or military power? To me, it's whoever grasps it first and knows how to start to harness and use it.
Jiu-jitsu versus Taekwondo. And what do you think's being neglected? You think that if they get control of Taiwan, that somehow that expedites their race to the top?
Yes, because that's where all this technology is being made. That's where all the chips that do the computing.
What would they do? They would enslave those people or buy those people off? Let's say they took control of it. How would they maintain the infrastructure of that?
Let's change the words from chips and superconductors to oil.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of going and getting all the oil?
Well, we have guys who can go over there and pump it out of the ground. Let's say we take over Iran. We could go over there and just like hire all these people. And so you're just saying that's the exact same way. They
Roger
take
that.
it. They have the factories. They get the brain. They get the brain power.
They have
They
the
get the
infrastructure.
scientists. Yeah.
The infrastructure. The resources are there. The infrastructure is there.
What a fuck up letting that infrastructure form off the coast of fucking China.
Well, dude, I mean, think about our prescription drugs, right? And I mean, this was a conversation that that we had with Greg, and he was saying like, yeah, in the last arms race, we propped up China to normalize trade with them, which gave a massive boost to their economy, and then which gave them a long-term leverage over the U.S. I mean, majority of our prescription drugs are made there. A lot of our clothing, everything else is made there. And then now all of a sudden we basically fed the beast until it became much more aggressive, much more strategic, and much more long-term thinking than Russia ever could be. So we basically propped up China and gave them the leverage and the ability to do what they do now because of the last arm race against Russia. Like, it wasn't about going to the moon. It was about the advancement in technology, right? Like, we had to beat them. It was a showcase of the world. And that's really when we took over as the world power.
So we have an ideological virus running rampant in this country. We're in an AI race, and we need to make sure people don't have nuclear weapons.
I mean, I would put the financial system above all that if we're talking specifically about Americans.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
Well, isn't the byproduct of those what runs the financial system? The fucking idiots in charge, giving away the money, the AI race, allowing us to make more money, and nuclear weapons to make sure that, we keep the trade routes open.
For sure. I mean, it all funnels into it. But the main thing is, once people no longer have an American dream, which we already see this slipping, right? How many people could afford homes? How many people could afford to live? Once that's gone, that's when you get violent, like kinetic warfare inside of our own country, because people just give up hope. Well, what the fuck's the point of trying? I work all this hard. I can't even afford groceries. I can't afford any bills. Screw it.
Hey, Pat, you don't think that spending $40 million on a military parade is good for the economy? Do you not know how the economy works, dude? Are you one of those people who thinks that if someone goes out and buys a $30 million wedding ring, it's a waste of money? Do you think it's a waste of money to buy a $100 million, 2,000 square foot home on the beach? You think that's wasting money? Like, I'm not talking about you personally as the little fly that you are that flies from one pile of shit to another. I'm talking about big picture for the U.S. economy. You think that that's wasting money? What do you think happens to that money when someone buys a house for $200 million on the beach? You think that they just take in wheelbarrows, they take it over and put it in the incinerator and it's gone? You have no fucking idea what it means to waste money or spend money well or not spend money well. You have no clue, because you just think from yourself. You're like, shit, I should have bought a loaf of bread because it's more calories than those oranges, and therefore I wasted my money on the bread. That's not how the fucking economy works, dude. That $40 million wasn't wasted even in the slightest. That's not like you think it's a waste of money when Mark Zuckerberg spends $300 million on a yacht. If you said yes to any of those, you're fucking batshit crazy. You need to go back to fucking economics 101. Fucking nuts. Pat Lange, Sevon thinks Trump's going to Super Bowl and NASCAR for $60 million was a good call.
We used to call that.
Hey, you're right. You're right. I do, and I wish he would have fucking dropped dollar bills out of fucking Air Force One when it flew over fucking NASCAR too. That would have been fucking awesome. Now, some of that money may have been wasted, like blown into like some place where someone couldn't get it. Jackass. This fucking guy. All right, I'm going to breakfast.
Have fun.
Thank you. Taylor Self, he spent 90% of his presidency in vacation. Oh, Joey Biden. Hey, does he make it to the end of 2026 before he dies?
No. I think he's propped up on drugs the last year of his presidency just to get him to do what he was incapable of doing that whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, when's the last time all three of us have been on a show together like this?
Couple months for sure.
At least. I was thinking like over a year. Just
Holy
the three of us.
Shit.
Yeah. Just the three of us.
So much better with the two of you here.
Make
All right. If you want to come on the show tomorrow, I need a guest, but you have to have over 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Damn, I'm out. Wait, I'll just buy them. Fuck it.
All right. See you guys later. Caleb, thank you. Sousa, thank you. Real quick. Oh, before I forget, since I fucked up last time. Oh shit, I lost you. Are you there?
Yeah.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My screen went black. Oh,
Everything's
when
safe.
is what you? So you had. I want to talk about this real quick. You had a Wodify seminar yesterday on the website, on the YouTube channel. So what was? Tell me about that, because you briefly told me yesterday on the phone, but we were like switching so much information. And then tell me when the next one is.
Yeah, so we just had a webinar with Reagan from Wodify, and we basically just talked about what it looks like when somebody first contacts your business and what type of automation do you have set up, or do you have anything set up, or do you have like a workflow, meaning like when this happens, and then this happens, and then this person's alerted and they do this. So we kind of talked about that, and then we gave away 2 free things. It doesn't matter if you use Wodify or not. But one of them is about retention through what we call the summer slump. So any gym owners, you know what we're talking about. And the other one was about attracting new leads with an outdoor workout. So if you go there, both the links are there. Yeah, that's Reagan there. She got a lot of compliments.
I'm sure she did.
She got a lot of compliments.
She's got a great smile.
Yeah, she's good. She's been in the
Is she embarrassed right there because someone in the chat said she's a sweet piece of ass?
No, that was early on. She was
Oh.
probably just a little nervous because like I was trying to get everything set up and it wasn't really going as planned. And she was like kind of in the backstage waiting. So I'm sure she was just kind of like nervous about the whole thing starting.
Was Jeremy flirting with her?
Everybody was flirting with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
She could definitely read the comments. So,
oh boy.
Ortega and Jeremy. We're all comments from Ortega and Jeremy.
There's a nice spread.
Oh, that's awesome.
The show is a 4 out of 10 today. Sousa 10 out of 10. Caleb 8 out of 10. Sevi 2 out of 10. Hey, when is the next webinar?
We'll probably get one done, set up for next month. I hope to do one before it gets too crazy with the games, but if not, we'll do it in mid-August. And then if anybody wants anything that, you know, is on their mind that we want to talk about, or they have any suggestions, they can throw it in the comments. Otherwise, we'll continue down the path of like just getting more members into your gym.
I didn't hit on her. I just called her a girl. Oh, fair enough. Caleb,
That's true.
Caleb, 15 out of 10 on fire today.
Thanks, dude.
Can we have 3 of you? Ani. Oh, that's what I wanted to name my one of my kids. Can we have the 3 of you on together more often? This podcast felt like old times. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sevi, did you still fast? Yes, I just started again. Sundays, 36 hours. I stopped eating Saturday night and start again Monday morning. Someone said they could see my ribs through my shirt.
That's a nice compliment.
I guess, yeah.
Or you're wasting away.
All we need is Brian now.
Maybe not.
Is this true?
This is blasphemous.
All right. See you guys. Today's Thursday. Are there any other shows? Get with Programming have a show today? Pedro?
Question.
It looks like Brad's doing something this afternoon with Connor Murphy. He's doing a deep dive.
Oh, okay. Awesome. What
And
time
then
is
Shut
that?
Up and Scribble as well.
And Glinton. Okay, so these are the shows. You got Brad, Asaraf, Deep Dive. You have
that's tonight. Yep, at 6. And then Shut Up and Scribble at 7 my time. So 4 Pacific Standard and 5 Pacific Standard.
and then the Glintons will be on tonight. I think that's the show where Jeremy faces Augustus Link?
I think so, right? Is that what he said?
Yep, that's what he said.
Okay. All right. So you got tons of stuff. Dude, you're just being dumb now. We need trillions. That comes from us. No other. Okay. ESL. Oh, the Be Friendly podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That.
If you would like to go over there and hang out with my friends and I who troll, feel free to come over and troll away. All right. Thank you to Luke DeJong for being such a great contributor to the show. Love the guy. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.